Wrapping a whole chicken in pastry and then baking it is a really nice change from a plain roast chicken. The crust, as you can see, becomes a beautiful golden brown, and the chicken inside, all of its moist juices stay inside the crust. The finished dish may look complicated, but it's surprisingly simple to do. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to wrap the chicken. It's kind of like a chicken pot pie without the pot. So here I have a chicken in front of me. I've cut off 2 joints from the wings, and I've stuffed it with a wonderful stuffing of sautéed vegetables, carrots, celery, and onions. And now I'm going to tie the legs. That's all the trussing you need to do. Grab them both together and pull them so that they cross each other over. Okay, and then you can either knot or tie it in a bow. Okay? So, our chicken is ready to be wrapped. Now we're going to work on the pastry. So the pastry has been chilled in the fridge for about half an hour to relax and rest, which helps it roll out more evenly. So we're going to flour our board. If you open your fingers slowly, it makes a really good way of getting flour all over your board. Okay, and I'm going to flour the pastry too. It's a nice little coating all over. So if we're going to roll this out into a rectangle instead of a round, so I'm going to sort of shape it now, more of a rectangular shape, and start rolling it out. So we can put a little flour on the pin, and here we go. It's quite a nice soft dough. It's easy to work with. As you roll, you don't need to go over the ends, because when I turn it around, they will be where the rolling pin is, and that way the edges don't get thinner than the inside of the dough. Okay, if you find you need more flour, just roll your pastry up. If you see the dough shrinking back as you roll, just let it rest at room temperature for a few minutes, and then you can continue. Okay. We want this to be about 13 by 18, so I think I've got the 13. Let's have a look. That's a little more than that. So we'll start rolling this way to get it longer. It'll end up being about 1/8 of an inch thin. Okay, that's a little bigger than we need. So if you do this, it'll sort of make it smaller again. Okay, so now we're ready to put the bird on it. What you want to do, I'm going to turn it around so the long sides are next to the bird, going in the middle, because that's the widest part to cover. And you want the chicken to be upside down with the breast at the bottom, so that that is what you see at the end on top. Okay, so there's our bird. So we'll lift the pastry over on one side. And so as I bring the edges together, now we only need about 1 inch or 1/2 inch to make a good seam, so I can trim off the rest of the pastry. If the pastry has got too many folds, it won't cook properly, so that's the idea. Firmly press this together. You want to make sure to keep all the juices inside. So we can fold this over so it doesn't get in the way. And then these ends also, I can trim a lot of this so there isn't too much overhang. And the same on this side. Okay, now I want to pinch these seams together as well, very firmly. Now you can turn this up on itself and conform to the shape of the bird. Okay. So we've got our bird. It's ready to turn over onto our baking sheet. So we're going to turn it now, breast side up. Okay? And now we've got a package, and we're going to make it look a little bit more like a chicken by pressing the dough to the shape of the chicken. And that's all there is to it. At this point, you can actually wrap the chicken up in parchment and refrigerate it for up to a day. So that our crust is nice and golden, we are going to now brush it with some egg wash over the top and sides. Great. And for a little flavor, a little salt on the crust. Okay, it's ready to go in the oven. The chicken bakes until an instant read thermometer reads 160 degrees. You'll need to let the chicken cool for about an hour before you serve it, an hour to an hour and a half. It'll still be quite warm at that point. So now I'm going to transfer the chicken to a serving plate because it'd be nice to serve it at the table and let everyone see how beautiful it is. And now I'm going to carve it. So I'm going to start with the breast. Just make an incision on one side of the bone, and then above the leg. You can hold on to the chicken with the fork. There we go. And here's our first piece. Make sure that you serve it with the crust. Let's get a few of our tasty vegetables in there as well. And the best part is the bottom crust, which you can serve to your guests, or you can keep it as a cook's treat. Delicious.